Let me ask you a question. What do you see here? Most people see the picture of an old man sleeping. However, were you able to see the woman sleeping? Sometimes our minds are so fixated on one thing that we tend to forget there are other vantage points. When you face obstacles and challenges, we tend to narrow our way of thinking and lose perspective. After all, your perception is your reality. But you can't slice a cheese that is so fine that it doesn't have two sides. Oftentimes, you can get caught up in your own dilemmas and issues that you forget that what you should hold to be true is based on your point of view and perspective. What if I were to tell you that there is another way to look at challenges and adversities? Don't believe me? Well, then you don't want to miss out on today's story and another key to untapping your potential. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories, motivational figures, comeback stories, and public speaking tips that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. Once upon a time, a young woman went to her grandmother and complained about how hard life is. This really sucks. Why are these things happening to me? She did not know how she was going to make it, and she just wanted to give up. She was tired of fighting and struggling, and it seemed that as one problem was solved, a new one arose. For every one step forward she took, she would fall 2 steps back. Her grandmother carefully listened to her and says, "Follow me." Her grandmother takes her to the kitchen. She fills 3 pots with water and places each on the stove. Soon, the pots came to a boil. In the first pot, she placed carrots. In the second pot, she placed eggs. And in the third pot, she placed ground coffee beans. She let them sit and boil without saying a word. In about 20 minutes, she turned off the burners. She fished the carrots out and placed them in a bowl. She pulled the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. Then she pours the coffee into a bowl. Turning to her granddaughter, she asked, "Tell me what you see." "Carrots, eggs, and coffee," she replied. "Yes, but look closer," said the grandmother. She brought her closer and asked her to feel the carrots. She did, and noted that they were soft. She then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, she asked to sip the coffee. The daughter smiled as she tasted its rich aroma. The granddaughter then asked, "Grandma, what does this all mean?" Her grandmother said, "The carrot, the egg, and the coffee bean each faced the same adversity, boiling water. But each reacted differently. The carrot, it went in strong, hard, and unrelenting. However, after being subjected to the boiling water, it softened and became weak. The egg had been fragile. Its thin outer shell had protected its liquid interior. But after sitting through the boiling water, it became hardened inside. The ground coffee beans were unique, however. After they were in the boiling water, they had changed the water." The grandmother pauses and then looks at her granddaughter with a poignant question. "Which one are you?" When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean? The daughter was speechless. All she can do is look at her grandmother, but soon came to realize in her mind that change is inevitable, but growth is an option. John Maxwell. Let me ask you, which one are you? Which one are you? Are you a carrot that appears to be strong on the outside, but as soon as challenges and adversity loom over, you become soft, weak, and lose strength? Or are you an egg, soft and easily influenced on the outside, and with a fluid spirit in the inside? But when adversity such as death of a loved one, an injury, a financial debt, or some other challenges comes upon you, do you all of a sudden become stubborn, stiff, and hardened inside? Does your shell look the same, but deep inside your heart is closed and bitter? Or are you like the coffee bean? You see, the bean actually changes the hot water, the very challenge or adversity that we're speaking of. When the water gets hot, the bean releases the fragrance and flavor. If you're like the bean, when things are at their worst, you get better and change the situation around you. Now you may be asking yourself, well, I don't want to live a life of adversity. I want to live life free from adversity. Now wouldn't that be nice? But in life, do you know anyone free from adversity? Yeah, that's what I thought. The real question is, how do you face adversity in such a way that it actually becomes a blessing? There are two things you control in this life. That is your attitude and your actions. You are an agent to act and not merely an object to be acted upon. The reality is, there are things you can't control. You do not have power over other people's actions. You may not have control of the circumstances around you. In fact, you may not be able to control the events that occur in your life. But one thing is for certain. You can control how you respond to them. You have control over how you react towards them. The key is to find meaning and purpose during difficult times. And when you start to do that, when you start to find meaning and purpose during adversity, it can actually transform you. Not only will it transform you, but you will also be able to transform your circumstances. When the coffee was introduced to the hot water, they both changed. The coffee clearly changed the boiling water with color, smell, and flavor. It actually gave it new purpose. At the same time, if it weren't for the hot water, the coffee bean wouldn't have changed. The hot water helped the coffee bean become your useful. Adversity will change you, but it can change you for better or for worse. That depends entirely on you. Sooner or later, you're going to face hot water. During the trials and challenges, are you able to elevate yourself to another level? Will you be able to change the circumstances? How will you handle adversity? Are you a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean? Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories on a consistent basis? Do me a favor and support the channel by sharing, commenting below, and please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest update. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.